Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abdulaziz Nasser, Deputy Director, Middle East for Hong Kong Trade Development Council, Regional Office in Dubai. I would like to welcome everyone for attending this important business webinar, especially His Excellency Abdullah Saleh, the Undersecretary of the Foreign Trade at the UAE Ministry of Economy. To start, I would like to extend also my sincere gratitude to all the guest speakers to agreeing to join and share their insights with us. Today's webinar is titled Use of New Technology to Sustain Your Business During COVID-19 and Beyond. It is organized and hosted by Hong Kong Trade Development Council in partnership with the UAE Ministry of Economy. A special appreciation to the Trade Promotion Department and the Ministry of the Economy. Their great cooperation added value to make this event a great success. The webinar will take about an hour and end at 12 to 12:30 p.m. UAE timing. Our language of instruction is English. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our valued guest speaker. Our first speaker is going to be Mr. Daniel Lam, HKTDC Regional Director for Middle East and Africa. Mr. Lam will start us off with welcoming and introductory remarks and set the stage for the webinar. Our second speaker is His Excellency Abdullah Al Saleh, the Undersecretary of the Foreign Trade at the UAE Ministry of Economy. He is committed to driving closer cooperation, increased trade and investment flows, and deepening economic ties between UAE and the world. As Undersecretary, he spreads UAE free trade negotiations within the GCC framework with regional blocs and other countries. He is also the Vice Chairman of the National Committee of the World Trade Organization and oversees UAE's trade, as well as leading a dedicated team and manages the network of economic missions at UAE embassies. He will also give us a welcome remark and brief us about the impact of COVID-19 on UAE businesses and how UAE federal government is supporting UAE companies amid COVID-19 and beyond. Our third speaker is Ms. Andrea Lai, a professional from Hong Kong. She's a developer community manager at MadGaze. Ms. Lai is responsible for building the developer community of MadGaze by implementing innovative growth strategies and devising different industry events. She is motivated by the engagement with all AR/MR enthusiasts around the world. Ms. Lai has always been passionate about technology. She truly believes that mixed reality smart glasses will soon become the next thing in the tech industry, where it won't be an extensive display of your devices anymore, but the replacement of it. Ms. Lai will share about how to leverage on new technology to sustain business during COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. Our final speaker is Ms. Peggy. She is a manager at the Publication and E-commerce Department at the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. Ms. Leong will present on how HKTDC new online platforms are helping SMEs to develop and open new markets. At the end of the speaker's sharing, we will have a Q&A session. Participants are encouraged to participate by sharing their questions with us on the Q&A session and to direct questions to any of our speakers. So may I now take this opportunity to welcome our first speaker. Mr. Lam, you will have 5 minutes, please.
Your Excellency Abdullah Al Saleh, Ms. Andrea Lai, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome you all to this webinar. We are very glad to have the full support from the Ministry of Economy as a co-organizer of this event. Today is also our privilege to have Ms. Andrea Lai from MedGaze and my colleague from HKTDC Head Office, Ms. Peggy Leung, to share with us on how new technologies can help enterprises continue to excel in our business world against the backdrop of pandemic crisis. Under the current COVID-19 outbreak, the world economy, including the UAE and Hong Kong, are facing a huge challenge that we have never seen before. The close relationship between the UAE and Hong Kong is particularly important for our SMEs to work together and to share our experience in order to step out from this difficult situation. As the hubs in our respective regions, the UAE and Hong Kong have much in common. We at the HKTDC have long recognized the growing importance of the UAE as a regional center for trade, finance, and business, and we anticipate that ties will become closer still as the Belt and Road Initiative takes deeper root. The global pandemic brought by COVID-19 knows no borders and shows no mercy, and it is taking an enormous toll on humanity, disrupting lives and livelihoods, and is causing unprecedented economic devastation, with more than 170 economies will see their per capita income shrink in 2020, translating into a $9 trillion loss in total output. With the World Health Organization warning against trying to predict when the virus will disappear, while adding that controlling the virus will require a massive effort even if a vaccine is found. The global economy is likely to be operating in the shadow of the disease for a considerable period. Indeed, the big question right now is how quickly can the global supply chain be recalibrated to mitigate the risks and also uncertainties that lie ahead. Some businesses, of course, are likely to thrive in this new normal, including e-commerce marketplaces, pharmaceutical and healthcare companies, logistics solution providers, video conferencing solutions providers, and entertainment streaming, online gaming platforms, etc. Future business success, though, will very much depend on the blend of transformative enterprising mindset with technology and innovation. First and foremost, whether the virus lingers or not, artificial intelligence-driven technology will become more mainstream as the global economy and industry will push and use more towards digitalization and automation. As previously estimated by the International Federation of Robotics, the number of industrial robots in use in factories around the world will have doubled from around 1.5 million in 2014 to more than 3 million by the end of 2020, with the global pandemic almost certainly accelerating the whole automation process. Already many traditional commercial operations, such as restaurants, last mile delivery service, public transportation, as well as insurance, marketing, human resources management, logistics specialists are all readying their business for a digital transformation seen as necessary to survive the COVID-19 crisis. At the same time, business model innovations that utilize big data analytics, contactless solutions, and new digital channels are seen as the trump card for many such businesses. Hong Kong's innovation and technology sectors, together with that of Shenzhen Hong Kong Technology Cluster, ranked the world's second largest based on the Global Innovation Index 2019. Biotechnology, artificial intelligence, smart city, and financial technologies were identified as the 4 areas of strength for development in Hong Kong. And expenditure on research and development as a percentage of the GDP is expected to be double in 5 years from 2017. In this area, I'm confident that the UAE and Hong Kong can further collaborate, exchange, and share our experience in order to help our SMEs in the 2 places to be more competitive. On another front, adapting to this new reality of COVID-19, HKTDC is deploying technology and online platforms to connect businesses, especially small and medium-sized enterprises in Hong Kong with the world. The HKTDC is hosting months-long virtual expo from 1st of April, launching a series of insightful webinars for both Hong Kong and overseas enterprises and both efforts in helping business matchings among buyers and suppliers. With our experience in facilitating business connections and opportunities, and our global network of 50 offices, HKTDC has the infrastructure to support the Belt and Road Initiative by offering the perfect platform for countries from around the world. We have been working hard to build ever stronger relationships with the UAE. The two sides will work on key projects such as joint events in both regions, exchange information, give support to exporters and buyer facilitation through a range of initiatives and support. And also we supported UAE enterprises to penetrate the Belt and Road markets, especially in Asia. I'm sure you will agree that our long and fruitful history of working together will stand us in good stead as we seek to create more opportunities ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Lam, for the insight, welcoming speech. We will come back to you later if our distinguished participants has any questions for you. Let us now proceed to our second speaker, His Excellency Abdullah Saleh. Your Excellency, please.
Good morning. I hope you all are safe and healthy. Before I begin, I welcome all speakers and participants to this virtual session on behalf of the UAE Ministry of Economy. Also, I would like to thank HKTDC and Mr. Daniel Lam, Director of KHDDC for the Middle East and Africa, and his team for their efforts in organizing this event. As we continue to navigate unprecedented times and uncharted territories, such as situation also calls for exchange and sharing of smart, innovative, and highly beneficial solutions that can help us ensure continuity of business activities, production, learning, and development. Needless to say, these difficult times demand enhanced complementarities and bilateral cooperation across various sectors. And especially we have a good and excellent coordination with Hong Kong, China. Considering the role played by business and SME owners in driving the growth of our economies, I believe it is our primary responsibility to equip them with all necessary resources and the skills they need to cope with the pandemic crisis. The UAE attaches great significance to this cause and is capable of learning the way by sharing our experiences in this regard. We have been actively coordinating international efforts and exploring ways to alleviate the burden of the investors and SME owners in the country since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis. These include measures to reduce its impact on various sectors and mitigate the socio-economic consequences that are likely to flow. The UAE government has announced multiple stimulus programs and packages at both federal and local levels with an aim to help businesses to get through this challenges period. In addition to a comprehensive package of economic incentives worth of 283 billion dirhams announced by the UAE Central Bank and other federal government entities. Initiatives announced by local governments to support their economies, including reductions in cost of doing business and reduced licensing fees, electricity and water bills, and hotel tourism fees. As we speak, the UAE's nationwide crisis management team is actively engaged in tackling the spread of the virus, supporting our health infrastructure and rolling out preventive measures in broader scales. Ladies and gentlemen, the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic has once again highlighted the importance of digital transformation and technology adoption as far as businesses are concerned. In the past few months, we learned that digital technologies and related policies make a huge difference in our ability to deal with the challenges arising from this crisis. Therefore, it is high time small and medium-sized companies integrate their latest technologies and their numerous applications into their operations. In addition to making your businesses more resilient, they can add significant value to your operational efficiencies by simplifying processes. Far from being just a temporary solutions to the challenges presented by COVID-19, technology adoption is absolutely necessary to drive the long-term sustainable growth of your enterprises. The UAE continues to study not only the consequences of the current crisis, but also ways to transfer current risks and challenges into opportunities that can add value to the nation's economic growth. We are confident that these efforts will pave the way for the UAE's transition to a more flexible and sustainable economic model. Businesses and SMEs around the world share the same concerns and challenges during the pandemic crisis period. Since we also share the same interests and our futures are closely entwined, let us join hands and enabling our enterprises to survive and thrive during these difficult times. Thank you, and I wish you all a very fruitful participation in this webinar, and I hope to engage in future activities together with Hong Kong and HKTDC. Thank you very much for hosting us.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for this great remark. Now let me invite our third guest speaker, Ms. Andrea Lai, to start her presentation. Ms. Lai, the space is all yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea. Let me just share my PowerPoint really quick. Okay, so I'm the developer community manager from MedGaze. Thank you HKTDC for inviting us to this webinar to share insights on how technology plays a role under the COVID-19 pandemic. Before going straight to the topic, allow me to briefly introduce our company. So MedGaze started in 2013 in Hong Kong. We are an AR smart glasses company. Our team have over 10 years practical experience in developing high-end software and hardware, as well as providing different AR technological solutions to business. So throughout these years, we have developed 7 AR smart glasses and a gesture control smartwatch. And we have successfully delivered our products to 50 countries worldwide. As our goal is to bring AR and MR experience highly accessible to everyone. So we have been working hard on our designs and hardware. For example, we have monocular and binocular options. We also have like a standalone and a hybrid devices. Standalone means that it's embedded with CPU and battery itself, and a hybrid device means that you just simply need to attach to different smart devices. So making it more fashionable and lightweight so people can easily use their glasses on their daily life, because we understand customers and business users might have different needs and preferences under different settings. So we all know that COVID-19 has been affecting us a lot. It completely changes our daily life because people are forced to stay home for months due to the purpose of quarantine or social distancing. Most of the business are closed because people cannot go out, or they're just simply scared to go out. Travel has been restricted or banned, which affect those who always need to travel around for different business trips. So everything basically just goes digital. People are heavily relying on the internet for news, for shopping, for entertainment, and for communication. And COVID-19 is certainly giving our SMEs a very hard time because usually SME doesn't have a crisis management team ready in their business. So it might be very hard for them to respond to different sudden situations. But however, no matter how hard the situation is, in order to survive through this period, business owners still need to pay for different bills or rents. So it's really hard because their employees aren't able to go to work. They have less income because the demand of goods and services has been decreased. All kinds of physical events were canceled, so it's affecting a lot of the industries. Last but not least, even the medical experts are saying that they aren't sure about how long will the pandemic last. Maybe the end of this year or even next year. So SMEs definitely need to look for ways to assist them to overcome this pandemic. So before sharing you how technology can assist SMEs, I want to share you two research that I found online. The first one is from Gallup, saying approximately 60% of the Americans' workers prefer to work remotely as much as possible, even when the public health restrictions are lifted. And the second survey from Gartner, reporting that 74% out of the 317 finance leaders will move at least 5% of their previously on-site workforce to permanently remote position, even after COVID-19. So I think this is definitely a signal telling us something because people started to get used to working from home due to the impact of COVID-19. They started to find different benefits from working remotely. Employees may think that they can enjoy a more flexible schedule and more comfortable in general. And employers may think that this may be a way for them to save some costs such as rent. But working from home certainly brings business owners some kinds of challenges. First, they may find that it will be hard to monitor employees' performance. Second, employee may be a bit confused or lost due to the reduced level of supervision and direction. Third, it will be the communication and coordination challenges. And last but not least, there may be a chance of decrease in staff morale because of different distractions at home or the feeling of disconnected with your colleagues. So how can MedGaze help SMEs during this pandemic or even after that? As I mentioned earlier, we have been providing different AR technological solutions to businesses. Here, I'm introducing you two methods where one can help the business externally using our solution to engage with the customers better. And second will be helping the business internally to further enhance their employers' efficiency as well as lowering their cost. So the first solution is called Simple AR. Simple AR is a tool that allows people to build AR content even they have zero coding background, as it is 100% code-free software. So users can create AR content as fast as 5 minutes with our free 3D library, or of course they can import their own materials as well. This is a very great way for business to engage better with their customers because they can easily implement different marketing or education campaign with just one single cost of the software. As a lot of you may know that the development cost of for one AR project can be super high. And it can be applied to a lot of different industries such as healthcare, education, marketing, retail, and more. For an instance, you can imagine business may always need to send out different marketing materials to their customers, such as flyers. So if they use Simple AR in this case, their customers can easily use their smart devices to scan the flyers, and it will instantly pop up a 3D AR object of their marketing products right in front of them. So this interactive experience allows the customers to understand more about the company, as well as having a better impression of the company due to the fun experience. Here, I'm just showing you the layout of the Simple AR, which it looks very similar to the photo editing software out there in the market. You can see a library down here. You can adjust the project angle in a 360 degree, and you can add different effects and layers. And just one click here, you can publish the content and access the content through a web browser or an application. We also offer different templates such as point cards or scratch cards to assist business in building their customer loyalty. So in short, this tool is really easy to learn. Just simply drag and click and you can build both AR and VR content and share it to your audience. Second solution we have is called Me Support. Me Support is a remote video assistant platform. So imagine I am sitting in an office with my computer and another user is using our smart glasses outside. By connecting both devices on Me Support platform, I can see the real-time vision of others. So I can provide specific guidance and instruction to the user, as well as monitor their performance through various functions that are offered by this solution. So I've prepared a 3-minute video for you guys, so you guys may have a better understanding of how it works. And I'll come back after the video. Okay, so you guys may have a better idea now on how this solution works. To summarize, it's a hands-free conference, so the technician can keep doing their tasks without holding a tablet or phone, which has less distraction. And the red dot pointer easily allows technician to know which part the expert is indicating, so it provides a better guidance even they are at a different place. And the expert can also perform different functions such as screen sharing, setting text, media, and files, perform video and photo capturing for further assessment. This is actually a very popular tool for those who love to cut down the manpower, travel, and time costs, because it allows business owner to easily monitor their whole team without the need of going to different sites. So other than the two methods that I mentioned, MedGaze also provide different AR technologies such as object recognition, gesture control, voice recognition, facial recognition to assist business in different needs. In the next few slides, I'll give you some more examples on our existing partners use case. So the first use case is from Jardine Engineering Corporation in Hong Kong. They were looking for ways to enhance communication during repair and maintenance of industrial air conditioners, as the repair procedure is complicated and the seniors always have to train multiple juniors at the same time. Me Support can greatly help them in this situation because the senior can monitor all juniors easily on one screen and then provide specific guidance to each of them. Senior can also share repair manuals on the technician's smart glasses screen, allow them to look for more details instruction as needed. By adopting Me Support into their repair procedure, they have successfully reduced their travel costs, time, and manpower costs. And one more thing I want to mention is that Me Support support low bandwidth video calls. So you have the option to either prioritize the video quality or to ensure the smoothness of the call. It's an important feature in this case because a lot of time they may encounter weak signal at their repairing site. Second use case we have is from Intertech. As you may all know that they are an assurance provider. They offer different testing and inspection service. So before adopting our technology, their inspectors simply write down all the observation on a paper, and then they would take photos of the damaged cargoes or goods. And they may use these documents as their evidence. But a lot of time, they found that it's hard for their clients and the insurance company to come up with a mutual understanding. So in this case, to further enhance the inspection procedure, they adopted Me Support solution. So by using our solution, the inspectors can now record the whole inspection procedure in a first-person perspective. And then throughout the inspection procedure, they can perform a real-time video communication to their clients to communicate and record all the communication for further usage. At the same time, they can also save the whole conversation as a copy and send it to the insurance company. As all the communication can be recorded and it shows the exact date and time, in case if there's any dispute and they need to file a lawsuit, they can provide a better and more complete view of the evidence on the court. Also, a lot of time, the inspection may carry very far away from the city. So having this solution, seniors can easily support juniors where they don't have to travel along, which save a lot of time, travel, and manpower costs again. And they can also differentiate their service from competitors to increase loyalty. So this is our third example. This use case is from the Hospital Authority in Hong Kong. They are looking for ways to enhance the medical procedures, specifically for children with severe illness. And a lot of time, they need to assist in transferring the children from one hospital to another. So to further enhance this procedure, they adopted Me Support solution. As you may can imagine, there are hundreds of possibilities that may happen during the transition on the ambulance. First aid or nurses on the ambulance might not equip with all kinds of medical knowledge to respond to a sudden situation. For example, children with a sudden heart attack. So by adopting this solution, first aid can communicate with different medical experts immediately and provide them a real-time view of the child's situation. Experts can provide nurses specific guidance to help the child immediately. Other than that, they may also use this solution to communicate with the A&E department because they can provide them a better view of the children's situation and different biometrics information in advance, allowing A&E to have a better understanding of the situation and be well prepared. Last example I have is the partnership with Union Hospital in Hong Kong, where they would love to enhance their medical training for nurses. So object recognition has been used in this case where AR objects are displayed and overlaid on different training materials and props. So this technology is very popular in simulation and training field because it provides very specific guidance, allow practitioners to practice anytime, anywhere. It will also notify them if they have done anything wrong throughout the procedure, which this learning method will certainly deepen their knowledge because it is a more practical learning experience in general. So again, our solution and AR technology can be applied to a lot of industries as shown on the list. I may not have time today to go through all examples under each industry. So feel free to screen cap this screen and you can send me an email if you have any questions about my presentation or if you would love to explore more about MedGage products and solution. So thank you everyone. That's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Lai, for your inspiring presentation on utilizing new technologies to help companies with their future businesses. Our final speaker is Ms. Peggy Leong. She will make a presentation about HKTDC new online platforms to support companies amid this pandemic. Ms. Peggy, please.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. My name is Peggy from actually Abed's office, but I stationed in Hong Kong. So I'm very glad that Abed and Daniel engaged me in today's meeting with you all. And let me share my screen first. So, just to share with you, I hope today through my presentation, you can feel that the teams at the HKTDC are still very hopeful. Despite all the unfavorable factors at the moment, we are trying very hard to respond to all the challenges. So in the following 15 minutes, I will share with you what we are actually doing in the e-commerce department. May I suggest that you guys to take my presentation from two angles. The first angle is that as our stakeholder, what HKTDC is doing to bring value to small and medium enterprises from all around the world. And then the second angle could be that as a company, just like everybody in this meeting today, you can take us as a case study how we respond to the pandemic during these few months. So if I am only allowed to quote one trend now that will be going online. So not only businesses, but schooling, your lunch and dinner, how to run the house, entertainment, etc. is all about online. So for us at the HKTDC, our exhibitions has actually gone virtual already through hktdc.com sourcing, which is our online marketplace. We have begun doing it since April, the 1st of April. And actually, before that, we are pioneering some small-scale campaigns to gear up the virtual momentum. I guess from February to March, we immediately ramped up our promotion of our online marketplace and also our business matching service. So actually, we actually go with the flow because you may not notice, but actually from February in Hong Kong, we have received a lot of inquiries on masks. So, and also later on sanitizers, and then later on ventilators, etc., sort of medical supplies things. So that the team then planned to ramp up our business matching service. Out of goodwill, we talked to all 50 overseas offices around the world to ask our offices to help source masks for the needs of Hong Kong and the mainland China. Because at that time, actually, we are the center of the, this part, Asia is the center of the pandemic. We never thought of it would be a global issue at that time. So actually all masks go to this part of the world, and then we, the business matching team, do all the sourcing work for the public sector, for the private sector, to to fill the needs. So at the same time, we also launch an online campaign, which we call a medical supplies campaign, to feature our suppliers that could provide masks or sanitizers or all health-related products at that time. So we focus on the upcoming trends and also those hot topics, and when we design our digital campaigns. And then of course the results is quite good. Of course we do not hope things turn out like this, right? But we just have to focus on what the market needs. And then our inquiries on this kind of products actually come 2 flows, 3 flows, and then at that time we start to plan what to do with our exhibition, because April is then our peak season of trade fairs. We have 9 trade fairs in April, many of them the world's largest or the Asia's largest. And actually, if everything goes well, like the usual days, people will flock to Hong Kong and also Guangzhou for Canton Fair. So we at that time already pioneer our first virtual expo. As you can see the screen, the banner over there, Spring Virtual Expo. The virtual expo lasts for a month instead of like 4 days or a few days like we have during physical fairs. And we feature actually on using online platform, we can feature a lot of product categories, and then also to highlight different products according to the preference or actually the cookies of our buyers when they search on the website. So we do. I always emphasize we can only go with the flow to think out of the box what things we could do for ourselves and for the SMEs, so that our business remain vibrant. For during that month, we divided into 4 weeks, and then each week we focus on one theme, like electronics, and then fashion, houseware, something like that, so that we catch buyers' attention and then also stay relevant to our buyers according to their specialty. We timely launched something like content site. As you can see, it's called News Bites. It's something like, it's very common in digital marketing that we soft sell our service or our products. In our case, that's our suppliers' products using content, using storytelling, and then we spread the stories across different media like social media, and then I've sponsored ads over the cyberspace, all kinds of search, and then all kinds of search engine digital tactics to make these kind of content or products exposed to suitable audience. And then when our buyers or when our audience see the content, and then they will be linked back to this newsbites.com and then become interested in our suppliers' products or in our services. So that's what we do, and then luckily we could launch this timely in March. So you can imagine when the pandemic come, actually it turns our department upside down because we have so many things to launch, and then it all has to be quick. So we could only be very agile. That is to run something, even though it's less than perfect and a little bit primitive, but we still push it out to the market and then fine tune every day, and then to improve our service and also the whole thing. it proved to be very useful because the pandemic just go on, and then even though we are going to enter we are approaching the end of Q2 and then approaching Q3, we still need to ramp up even more online campaigns. So after that, in May, we launched a wellness campaigns, which focus on, because we see the trend from our data, from our search data, and then also from your daily life, you can tell that wellness products is trending. So wellness at home, wellness to keep yourself healthy, to keep yourself lifestyle even at home. So we launched a wellness campaign, and then to attract traffic and bring in inquiries to our suppliers. So just here some basic figures on our sourcing website, sourcing.hatc.com. We are featuring 130,000 suppliers, and then we have 2 million registered global buyers, and annually we are generating 24 million business connections. This website also won a lot of those web awards, but here I don't give you the details, as all could be found on our supply center of the sourcing site already. From what I've shared so far, you can realize that all we have done, we are facilitating our suppliers and buyers to get to obtain business connection. It is actually a means to achieve business matching. So on top, when people don't want to do it DIY or they need help, they need professional help, we also offer online business matching as a value-added service. Our dedicated business matching team at the Hong Kong head office, and also we have our business matching colleagues at our HATC branch on the ground over the world. We help buyers to look for, when they need to look for niche products or requires other professional sourcing assistance, like we have requests on medical grades, masks, and also we have many inquiries on robotic things so that they can help hotels or public places to do the sanitization and so on. So when it involves technical terms, or also it is not, it is more than just consumer, our business matching could give our angle and also leverage on our experience to help our buyers and suppliers to match up. So based on the requirements, we can line up relevant suppliers and then arrange virtual meetings for them. This is also an example of how business matching team of the HATDC experience a little bit of digital transformation, because for business matching team for over the years, most of the time we actually work for our trade fairs a lot. So during the trade fairs in Hong Kong, we support our buyers, incoming buyers, to do the sourcing over the fairground, and then all of these duties suddenly vanish, and then we change our service to digital, so acting online in front of business matching. And instead of bothering with the on-site logistics to set up business matching places and then venues and so on, we use Zoom, WeChat, you name it, those virtual video call tools to facilitate our stakeholders to do online matching, and then hopefully they can do immediate virtual meeting over those tools. And of course, our team also have sometimes they have to invert their how do I say, their working hours, because when we do matching for US buyers, then we have to stay until say Hong Kong time 10:30 in order to facilitate the business matching meetings. But luckily our staff members embrace it, and then they think that we are delivering new values to our customers and stakeholders. And then it's also good to be able to do something when every conventional channels are stuck, and that's kind of rewarding experience. Something good for us to learn. It's very. We also feel happy, right, when we see our suppliers, say in different districts of Hong Kong or in China, they just take their cell phone and then to go around their showroom, to go around their virtual, to go around their factories, to show in real how their machine works to produce the products they need. And then of course you see the screen bumpy. It's very primitive, but it still facilitate the business connection to go on and on. And then you can see, although despite the demand drop for all kinds of, for almost every kind of products, there are still demand, and there is still genuine buyers out there to nurture our relationship so that we can do B2B business for the long term. And of course, from the supplier perspective, either you immediately establish your website or boost your online presence by digital marketing skills like SEO, SEM, display ads, digital marketing campaigns, direct selling, EDMs, and so on and so forth. Or alternatively, you can present or advertise yourself on well-established digital platforms such as ours, HATC.com sourcing, or other B2B platforms. But just needless to say, online presence has become essential. Even though when pandemic is over, we think that the hybrid mode will be the prime trend. So just having offline channels will not be enough, but you have to make your online to offline viable. So that's what we are trying to nurture our suppliers to do that from our e-commerce function of the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. We do have some service offerings to facilitate you to do online and offline promotion. So of course we could only offer offline promotion when we can resume our trade fairs in Hong Kong, but our HATC.com sourcing are always there. And if you want to understand more about the package details, you can let us know, let Abed knows after this seminar. So Spring Virtual Expo, which lasts for 1 month in April, we have done several campaigns. This is the one of the largest scale. So let me use one or 2 minutes to share with you the result. We are promoting 20,000 online advertisers over the month, and then they are from 33 product categories. We do feel reassured that we have got a handsome increase in our traffic. So we are attracting over 1 million by visitor sessions during our campaign period. And also we have a surge of online business inquiries compared to March, when we do not have such campaigns. And then our inquiries come from locals from Hong Kong, from the States, from UK, Canada, and India. So you can imagine that to cope with the time difference, customer service is very important. How you can adjust your work patterns to fit into your stakeholders' schedule. That's why just now I mentioned that BM team also adjust their working hours in order to make their support to the virtual business matching meetings viable. And in fact, our overseas office colleagues also give value during this time. For example, our Seoul office, their staff are helping as translators for the buyers so that they can communicate effectively with our Hong Kong suppliers, and also Japanese colleagues, and also colleagues even in Spain. Even though Spain is hard hit during the past few months, they actually have inquirers looking for things that we could really help. And during that time, we find that the very focused on medical supplies still, and also some consumer electronics item. I think it's because of the work from home and also homestay, so on and so forth, this kind of new life, new normal, I would say. And then when we received over 700 requests on our business matching service, so they come from actually all parts of the world. Even though, even far away places like North America, South America, and then Europe, that counts over 40% of our requests. And from that, we either do virtual meetings or connect both parties up by facilitating their email communication after confirming interest from both the supplier side and the buyer side. And then from these kind of these services, we identify 70 potential success deals, and also in-depth connections between both sides. And this is encouraging. And actually, we also extend our service. As I said, this is a 1-month campaign. Actually, the momentum on the online space really takes time to build up. And then many of the virtual meetings actually drag until May to happen. But of course, we also cater to this kind of request, because people really need to prepare, or they need to respond to the online mode, and then they also need to get used to this kind of working mode. Upcoming from late June, so 2 weeks from now, we will launch our Summer Virtual Expo. Of course, this will be a time for us to launch a lot of theme-based small-scale campaigns to attract different interests from different product categories. We have 5 weeks, and then we will focus on tech, and then health, and then home things, and also lifestyle and outdoor things. As our content marketing site and also the new spice model is ready, we will also proliferate our service offering from on that front. So we will devote more resources to craft the stories for our suppliers, so that to enable them to soft sell over the cyberspace. And our virtual meetings will go on. We will also cater to the business matching requests during this month. And we actually, it is not ready to share the new services, but actually while we are doing these online campaigns, in parallel, we are trying to work with startups from Hong Kong or from around the world to bring in new service or new technology so that we can enable our SMEs to do business matching or to do digital marketing readily or more effectively, or bring a better customer experience. So we anticipate that upcoming, even though when our TDC trade fairs can resume, our hybrid mode, that is online and offline business matching and all kinds of online campaigns, and then offline TDC trade fairs will complement each other, and then we will place equal focus because the demand will surge from now on online. So that's all I want to share with you today. Thank you. I'll return the mic to Abed.
Thank you very much, Ms. Leong. This was really very insightful. Let me now move to the Q&A section, which looks very interactive. We had more than a lot of questions. Now we cannot answer all of them, but we will try to answer few. And for the rest, we will be answering all your questions. We already got all your questions and we will be answering them privately. But for the general questions, I will try to inform you that this session or webinar is recorded, and after the webinar finished, we will try to send it to all the participants. We will also record, so if you have any questions also that were not answered now in this session, we will definitely answer you after the webinar. We will send you an email with the question and the reply for it. Due to the time, I will be asking a few questions to our speakers. So, Ms. Peggy, the first question will go to you. How HKTDC can help SMEs have virtual business connections during a global health crisis like COVID-19? Ms. Peggy?
Oh, yes. I think I've covered some points also during my presentation. We actually will introduce more and more service to facilitate our stakeholders to be able to do promotion and also to connect with each other. So I encourage our companies to consider enhancing your online presence. One way is to have your own website, and also consider B2B platform like us, or if you are open to do B2C, you could do B2C using those e-commerce platforms. And then actually TDC also provides, from our department or from other departments, we provide a lot of digital marketing trainings on what is digital marketing, or on how to do online business. So encourage our audience to stay tuned with TDC webinars, and then as I know, all are free, so you guys can feel free to leverage on that, and so that you can understand what channels you could afford your manpower or time to be devoted to it. And then when I have an opportunity to talk with our SMEs in the mainland China. They are, as you may also know, they are very active on online marketing. They would say that devoting time to nurture these leads are the basic. So you can see doing online business actually is not easy, or you can anticipate a very good margin at the beginning, because you have to answer a lot of inquiries, and then actually on the online marketplace, every information is very transparent, and then people will do a lot of comparison before coming back to you and place an order. So hope you will join us. You will join us to venture into e-commerce, and then for buyer, if you need business matching help on sourcing something that you could not find, so feel free to contact Abed or Lavina of the Dubai office, or you may contact me directly at the head office, and then we can help.
Thank you, Peggy. Our second question will go to the UAE Ministry of Economy, represented by Mr. Mohammed Nasser Hamdan Al-Zaabi, the Director of Trade Promotion. Mr. Mohammed, welcome to the webinar. What initiatives is UAE Ministry of Economy taking to ensure UAE businesses' economy stay vibrant as usual?
Well, thank you, Abdel Nasser. A very good afternoon to all the guests here. The UAE maintain attractiveness even through the coronavirus pandemic. The country is able to reflect business continuity through several programs and initiatives that the government has rolled out. In fact, one of these initiatives include the recent approved and implementation of the new FDI law, which many have hailed as a strategic new initiative that reflect a more quality-focused shift toward increased competitiveness and achieving a conducive investment environment. The introduction of the new law is in line with the mobilization effort made by the UAE government to help highly affected sectors and support the business sector through various measures, laws, and incentives package. The businessmen will highly benefit from these efforts made by the UAE government, especially from the experience of various business segments. This will surely lead to a certain and more fruitful partnership between the public and private sectors, with the aim of mitigating emerging risk. Another key step that the government has made is to move to reduce certain fees that the government of the government services. In support of companies, these fees and we as a government looked into reducing it to the companies and business as whole. During this current situation, the UAE, including its local governments, are now implementing key measures aimed to dealing with the repression and impact made by the COVID-19 on the national economy and the country's business environment.
Thank you, Mohammed. I believe your answer was very helpful to our audience. My question now goes to Ms. Andrea. Ms. Andrea, the question says, your AR and ME support solution did not put into consideration developing countries with limited internet connections and sometimes very poor, limited to 3G only. Is this true? As it's a video adaptable internet solution that will be very effective in a developed country that has very strong internet availability. The question comes from a participant from Nigeria. So can you clarify on this point?
Yeah, hi. So thank you for the question. So I understand that internet plays a very important role in our solution because that involves a lot of functions and video transfer. So Actually, for the two use case I mentioned earlier in the presentation, Jardine Engineering and Intertech, a lot of time they have to work far away from the city or in different repair site or engine room, which they may always encounter a super weak signal. But it turns out it still worked pretty well for them, because we do support low bandwidth video call. If I don't remember wrong, it supports as low as 6 Mbps, but I don't have a exact number right now. So it would be great for you to send me an email afterwards so I can get my team to answer your concern. Because from my knowledge, a 3G network should support around in an average speed of 8 Mbps, so it should be fine. But it would be great for you to send me an email afterwards, so I will have my team to answer your concern later.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Andrea. My last question goes to Mr. Daniel. What new business opportunities you see for a closer collaboration between the UAE and Hong Kong enterprising arising from this pandemic crisis?
Well, thank you for the questions. In fact, I will encourage more collaborations between Hong Kong and the UAE enterprises, particularly in the area of technology and innovations. There are many different restrictions in travel, business meetings, social distancing in our business operations now. I think the only solution is to engage technologies like AI, robotics, virtual platform, advanced mobile business solutions. Indeed, Hong Kong companies have already ventured into this direction. Plus the robust development of technology sectors in Hong Kong, I'm sure Hong Kong can share more relevant experience in deploying such technologies. In addition, the technology and innovation sectors in the UAE are developing very fast and have launched a lot of good business solutions for different business sectors. So I would suggest and encourage more exchange and sharing between the two places for jointly developing and launching good technology solutions which may benefit the industries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Our great guests, I totally understand that, in fact, I would like to thank you all for being so supportive. And there was a lot of interaction. We received more than 20 questions that we tried to answer most of them during the session. But unfortunately, we are almost in the last moments. We already exceeded 12 minutes from the assigned timing. I would like to thank also, we will try to answer later on all your questions. We already received them, and we will share all your questions to the audience, to the speakers, sorry, and we'll try to get their answers as fast as possible and send them back to you. So rest assured that we did not ignore your questions, but due to the short of timing, we will try to answer them after the webinar. I would like to thank all the participants and speakers for making time to this insightful business webinar. I strongly encourage you to consider Hong Kong and HKTDC as your business partner during this pandemic and beyond. From July 2019 to January 2020, HKTDC implemented 31 successful trade fairs and conferences, 18,700 exhibitors, 370,000 professional visitors, buyers, and conference participants. From the public visitors, we received more than 1.5 million visitors. Just for your information, 0 event was canceled until end of last February. Our main objective for HKTDC is cement Hong Kong as a global investment and business hub riding on the Belt and Road Initiative and the Greater Bay Area. Once again, I thank you very much for joining our event, and rest assured that we will have more webinars coming in the pipeline with more informative information for you and the business community in our region. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.